Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of flare on a reactive bowling ball. So this is my phase 2, and you're probably thinking this ball is about 35 years old, and I've never cleaned it in my life. Unfortunately, that's not the case. This is pretty new. I've probably got 20 games on it, and I drilled it with a 6 3/4 inch pin to PAP by accident. I was meant to have a 5-inch pin to PAP, and I kind of had the wrong measurement for my PAP. So this is the amount that the ball flares. As you can see, it is a very small amount. And so you're probably asking, what is the importance of flare? What is flare? So flare is those oil rings that you'll see on your bowling ball, a high performance bowling ball, after you've thrown it down the lane. And what does it do? Flare exposes a fresh part of the cover stock to the lane at all times. This helps the ball see the lane and pick up and actually get moving. If a ball doesn't flare like my phase 2 right now, it'll basically act like it is in oil the entire time. And when a ball is in oil, it likes to skid. And if it's constantly tracking over oil, it'll basically keep skidding like there is 60 feet of oil on the lane. This can be helpful if you are bowling on very low volume or very high friction surfaces. These are Brunswick surfaces, which means that the friction is on the low side, and is why my ball is getting on 17 mils of oil. If we move to the purple hammer, which is another ball that flares very little because of the 0.15 differential, it actually doesn't look too bad. You'd think, wait, this goes against everything you're saying. The ball shouldn't hook, it should skid the entire time, and it doesn't. That's because urethane is a little bit different to reactive. I don't know the chemistry or anything behind it, but I know that urethane likes to pick up more oil, and it's able to keep on trying to pick up with oil on the cover stock. Why? I don't know, but I do like it because urethane to me is something quite good. If we go back to my phase 2 here, this isn't the flare now. So I've actually adjusted my hand position and increased my tilt, which brings the PAP a little bit closer, featuring that cheeky little messenger there. So if the PAP is closer to the pin, it means that the ball is more likely to flare more because the core is in more of an unstable position. If we move to the re-drilled footage, wow. So this is the flare now. And I just can't miss. It's flaring a hell of a lot more, and it's a lot more consistent. I don't have to try and do funky things with my hand to bring the PAP closer to the pin. So this is now a 4 3/4 inch pin to PAP. This is the same pattern, by the way. This is 17 mils of oil, 39 foot, and a 5-to-1 ratio. It's looking amazing, and I actually go front 8 here. I'm not playing games, but the first 8 shots were strikes, so it was pretty impressive to me. I actually threw this ball in league one of the other nights, and I went 930 for 4, my best ever set with reactive. Normally I'm throwing urethane on everything. It was a 39 foot, it was the Weber Cup Day 1 pattern, 2007, and it looked amazing. I had hold, I had miss left, and I had miss right, and I couldn't believe it. I've never had that much miss room with reactive, and I'm starting to understand why people like this ball so much, because when you have a ball that doesn't flare, you can't really give it a fair comparison to anything else. And I'm like, why is everyone trying to say this ball is so good when mine doesn't even hook? So now I'm starting to understand the hype around this ball. It's pretty impressive. I think a lot of people know of this ball. Pretty much everyone in the bowling community that understands bowling balls. It doesn't matter if you're not a storm bowler or anything like that, you'll still know the phase 2, and I'm starting to understand why this ball is amazing. It's so smooth, but it's still dynamic off the back end. It's continuous at the same time, but it's so predictable. I can't believe how predictable this is. On the left-hand side of the lane, where the back ends are a lot more clean and things like to go flying off the back end all the time, I was able to control this. And looking back at the footage, it looks like it's flying off the back end. And for me, when I was bowling, it felt so smooth and predictable. I knew exactly what it was going to do. There was nothing that it did that confused me. It was all such a straightforward reaction. It was so straightforward, honestly. It's the best reaction I've ever had with reactive on this side of the lane. I've got a reality and the insight and the zen, and I'm just not that confident throwing them, because sometimes I'll pick up and go flying through the pins, and then other times they will do absolutely nothing. This is my second symmetric piece in my bag, obviously behind the zen, and it's the same though as the zen. I would have it in this video, but I didn't have it while filming here. But yeah, I mean, flare is important. Don't ever let anyone tell you that flare is not important. Flare does expose a fresh part of the cover stock to the lane surface, and it makes a move on the back end, and it is very important. I've had a few people in my life, I don't know who they are, that have told me that flare is not important, and I believe them. And then I started to think about it. I was like, well, if you need to expose a fresh part of the cover stock to the lane surface, then it is pretty important, especially if you're bowling on a lot higher volume. If we move inside here, it's starting to struggle a little bit, and that's probably because I'm useless at adjusting my speed. But moving back outside into the third arrow swing zone, which is on the left side, which is perfect for us lefties, It looks amazing. This pattern's not easy. It's certainly not hard, but it's not the easiest pattern I've ever bowled on. And, you know, I'm actually making it look quite easy, to be honest, and I'm quite happy about it. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.